All right, Brother Bren, what's your thoughts on the NFC South this season?
Well, I think they're going to be the worst division in the league.
Clearly.
All right. That's why we're here. Oh, no. Let me get my notes out. Not too much.
You got notes.
It's just the standings. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. So we'll go worst to the best in the division, what I got. If you could take a guess on who I have last.
I don't want to take any guesses.
I'll give you a nice handshake.
You just tell us.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Baker and the boys, man.
Only have 3 wins.
Oh, you got pinpoint down to their wins and losses. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
This guy dove deep.
3-14.
He didn't have to do all that.
No, that's it.
He's taking the next step up. Real insiders here.
Yeah, I just looked at their schedules.
Who were they beating?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It was like 3 hours ago.
Okay.
Sorry.
Welcome. If you haven't been able to tell you, welcome to this fucking sports show.
We're best show all time. Anyways, we got the Falcons repeating once again 7-10.
Same as last season.
Same as last season. Also, the Panthers too, 7-10. Same thing.
Bryce Young coming at 7 wins. I mean, I feel like that's a decent rookie season.
Yeah, and plus they're kind of shifting, so I don't think they're going to win more than they did last season. They might, but that's just my thoughts.
Okay.
And then the Saints, winning record of 9-8. Just over.
Taking the division, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just barely. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
All right.
Just smudge by.
I don't mind it because
You probably got the same thing. Unless you got the Falcons winning because
I don't.
you're crazy.
Nah, so this is where we go. We both agree Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking a little step backwards, okay?
They have to.
From worst, or no, the opposite. From first to worst team in the NFC South. Barely just snuck through the division last year. Won the division title last game of the season with a losing record. Got into the wild card playoff. This year, no Tom Brady, no season ticket sales. Okay?
None.
They went from one of the most expensive ticket season prices in the league to the very worst.
Damn. Big drop off.
One head of the Indianapolis Colts. So if you're, a Colts believer, go buy your stock in that right now.
Right now, do it.
But anyways, back to the NFC South. Their defense isn't as strong as they once were. They're all not on the same page. Devin White might be out, one of the best linebackers in the league. Requested a trade months ago. We don't know. Baker Mayfield's there. Kyle Trask could take his job.
What?
We'll see. So, Todd Bowles, I don't know what the fuck's going on in Tampa, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, too many question marks.
Third place. Got the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay, here we go.
But I will say, as we're going through this division, they're not going to be as bad as they were last year. I don't personally think so. Maybe the Buccaneers are going to be – obviously they're going to be the worst team in this division, one of the worst teams in the league potentially. But overall as a division, they're going to be better. Atlanta Falcons, they showed some promise last season, right, with their Artie Smith and his run game.
Yeah, and then they got Bijan. And did they get Calais Campbell? Was that the Falcons?
They did get Calais Campbell. They did make some upgrades to the defense. Campbell, and I believe either Jesse Bates or Von Bell. One of them went to Atlanta. The other one went to Carolina.
I think they got Jesse Bates.
So they got Jesse Bates as safety.
Okay, so
upgrade on the defense. They did spend some money this offseason, bringing in some new guys, some veteran guys, but Desmond Ridder is coming in. We'll see where he stands. I think he's going to be okay. He's not going to be great. I don't even know if he's going to be good. He's going to be okay. He's going to be slightly better than Marcus Mariota, in my opinion.
Just an average quarterback. Nothing wrong with that, though.
And
doing his job.
That's sort of what he was in Cincinnati as a Bearcat.
Yes, sir.
So, Bijan Robinson is going to get the ball like 30 times.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see more action from Kyle Pitts, Drake London. We'll see what this young core does. I got him in third place. Second place, Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
They were solid last season. Very solid. They got a solid young core on both sides of the ball. In all three aspects, special teams, offense, and defense. We'll see.
Trying to make a new culture, though. That's tough.
Yeah, I mean, they got
tough thing to do.
They got the big money coming in. Brought in some veteran receivers, Adam Thielen, DJ Shark. Got rid of DJ Moore. That's going to hurt them. But we'll see what their future could be promising with Bryce Young drafted number 1 overall. So we'll see where that goes. I got him finishing second place in the division. But let's not forget, okay, a lot of us forget that just because they had the number 1 overall pick, they weren't the worst team in the league last season. People forget that was the Chicago Bears. So let's keep that in mind. And then, lastly, I was super high on this team last season. We remember, if you guys, tuned in during the division previews last year in the offseason, I thought the Saints were going to be a dark horse Super Bowl pick.
You believe that again this season?
With old J-Mo Winston and the crew coming back. I mean, they brought in Honey Badger last year. He had a good season. They had to deal with injuries, this and that. Should hit the fan, so to speak, with the New Orleans Saints last season.
Yes, it did.
This season they bring in Derek Carr.
Okay.
Yeah,
More deep ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Well, Michael Thomas, we'll see. He's getting up there. He hasn't played that much. He started the season off good last year. I had him on my fantasy team. Him and J-Mo Winston were a good combination for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And should have hit the fan for him again. Ever since Drew Brees won that Super Bowl with them, they've been shaky.
Yes, sir.
The New Orleans Saints curse might be back. We will see. But I think they got enough to get it done this year to get first place in the NFC South.
I hope so, because on paper, best team in the division.
No,
we said that last season too.
Yeah, I did a whole segment for the Saints. I broke down their whole team.
Here we go again.
I'm not going to do the same thing last year. I'm not going to go out and say they're my dark horse Super Bowl team, but I will say they got the NFC South, probably wild card team. If I had to guess, a lot of people haven't projected to go like number 1 seed and 2 seed.
No way.
I don't know about that. Chris Olave might come back and have another tremendous year, but I don't know about 1 and 2 seed. I definitely do see division winner, wild card, New Orleans Saints football team. So, what was our differences? Just the Panthers and the Falcons, huh? Second and third.
No, I think they were the same. I had Panthers second, Falcons
third.
third.
I thought you had. All right, look at us. Off to a good note here.
Well, I had them both 7 and 10, so I don't think it matters where they are.
So yeah, I didn't do the records yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till we get closer.
Yeah. It's all right.
But anyways, that's the takes from the Sports Stooges. Sports Stooge perspective of things.
Yes, sir.
Now here's the new part of this segment this year that you guys definitely don't know about.
I still don't know.
And you guys definitely didn't see on your screen.
Didn't see. I wasn't wearing my glasses. I couldn't see.
So, ladies and gentlemen, definitely in studio, we have a numbers guy now.
Oh, yeah?
He's our Stats Savant.
He actually is. I don't know why.
Big numbers guy.
Huge.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the floor and learn a little bit more about these teams and the NFC South and maybe where we could put our money at. Ladies and gentlemen, Jacob Money Martineau. Take it away, Jake.
Hello out there, Tank Talk fans. I'm Rich Moranzo, the Italian stallion statistician, and today I'm going to be breaking down for you the NFC South.
I've definitely seen
just to be clear, I have painstakingly done all this research myself without the assistance of anyone, any additional support from any people with initials JM, nothing like that. This is all my own
Guy's a
research.
clown.
I own it. It's been copyrighted. I'm going to be going through and just kind of looking at some things. Before I get into my notes, you'll notice on the dry erase board behind me, again, NFC South, the FanDuel Sportsbooks division winner odds. Vegas has got the Saints at a plus 135, Falcons at a plus
Granted,
220,
did you sabotage?
the
What'd you do
Panthers
to
at
Jake?
a 330, and then the Bucks at a 700. Again, that's
Jake
on FanDuel
called me at
Sports.
the last minute.
Please
and,
join our apps because I know that Jake's trying to make some money off that stuff. So let's get right into it. I don't have major issues with the stats, but let's break this down. Let's start with your Falcons.
Couldn't even make his damn debut. Come on.
Listen, 7-10 last year. Not great. But 15 of those 17 games were within one score. So, but again, when it comes right down to it, 7-10. They had $84 million in dead cap space. This year, that's only $11 million in dead cap. Mariota has
Man, I was
one of the
prepared.
worst quarterbacks last year, and they still won 7 games with an
I
awful
guess
quarterback. They have added some defense. I think that they in the offseason they spent a lot of time
That's why I was so screwed
improving
up
their
this morning. I
defensive
was working
players.
so hard on this.
And they do have one of the best O-lines this year. And they also have the advantage that they have a really easy schedule. They're the second easiest schedule in the NFL. So as long as Ritter is competent, there's a chance that they can win over 9 games and take this division. So, I do feel like Atlanta is moving in the right direction. They've always been a competitive team. They've been around. So I think they're going to find a way to win. I even feel like last year the 7-10 doesn't really represent what the Falcons are good at. Let's move on to the Panthers. Let's face it, they got rid of their best wide receiver. He's gone. They traded away DJ Moore. I mean, what are you doing? In addition to wide receiver, but still weak wide receiver room and a rookie QB. So, I don't have high expectations of them. They do have an head coach, Frank Reich. Go Frank Reich. Go Bills. His records, and this is interesting, and this is a stat that I had a lot of fun researching myself, by the way. Week 1 to 5. In weeks 1 to 5, his rating is only 417. That's not very good. 10-14 in his weeks 1 to 5. After that, though, they get better. After that, for the second half of the season, they are definitely a second half of the season team. So if they can get themselves going early and not drop some games, who knows? His team starts slow. Combine that with a rookie QB and a tough schedule. They have a tough schedule. 4 of 6 games on the road against teams that are projected to have winning records. That's going to be tough for them on the road. However, after week 7 bye, they do face an easier schedule, so that second half of the season they should do pretty well. But they gotta win the games they have to win. I don't have a strong they don't have a strong connection, but Vegas has them with 7.5 wins, which sounds reasonable. But I'm gonna rank them. They have them ranking third, finishing third in the division. The Saints, again. A team with a great organization that definitely knows how to put things together. But let's face it, Michael Thomas is 30 years old, and he hasn't played 10 games in his last 3 seasons. So can you depend on him? And he's old. He's not getting better. Outside of Olivia, their wide receivers, he's okay, he's good, but there's just not enough there. Kamara is likely to be suspended, so we probably aren't going to see him. FYI, don't go beat people up because you're just going to get suspended. They're ranked 10 worst in rushing efficiency in 2022 after ranking 5th worst in 2021. So they can't run the ball. They have to depend on Derek Carr more. And I'm not convinced that Derek Carr this is going to be the Derek Carr that everybody thought we were going to see in Vegas. Saints last used the NFL's lowest Okay, so this one I got to read, so I don't want to screw up my terms again because I did all this research myself. The Saints last year used the NFL's lowest pre-snap motion on pass plays and used the NFL's third lowest rate of play action. Last year, when Carr didn't use play action, he ranked 32 in success, 40%. Meaning Carr was bad when they didn't use play action, and the Saints don't use play action. So this is like a conflict. I'm not sure how this is going to work in him coming into a new system and a system that's not good. But the Saints do have the easiest schedule in the NFL. So maybe that will help a little bit. They have a good defense with a lot of talented players. And then Vegas has them at 9.5 wins. The division is between them and the Falcons. I have them finishing up. Well, I'm going to get to my ratings at the end. And finally, the Bucks. Screw you, Bucks. You know what? Their time, they had their few years. They spent a ton of money, but now they're going to pay for it. And they, of course, went out and picked up my favorite quarterback, Baker, who I think is completely overrated. I don't think he's good. I don't think he's going to be good. I don't think he's going to get better here. They lost a ton of players on the O-line to free agency. The defense is not good. They're paper thin. They lack depth. Their unique 3 games this year are starting against Philly, at Buffalo, and at San Fran. Again, I don't think Baker's any good. In their past 3 seasons, they scored 386 points in the fourth quarter and won 53% of their games when they trailed. But that was Tom Brady. That wasn't the Bucks. That was just Tom Brady literally picking up the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization, throwing them on his back, and winning games that they probably wouldn't do this. Baker is not a fourth quarter quarterback. I don't think he's a first quarter quarterback, so probably not. Bad O-line. Tom Brady, he fixed everything because he was just throwing quick passes. Tom averaged 2.3 seconds to release the ball. NFL average is 2.64. Baker releases the ball after 2.77 seconds. That's an eternity. He gets sacked a lot, so he can cut the grass at the stadium like he was doing in those stupid commercials. Combine that with a bad OL, Baker's not good. He's not going to get better. This is not the organization that's going to bring Baker Mayfield back. So I see Baker struggling this year. Drives to take sack and score points at a dramatically lower rate. So, I just don't think that's going to improve. They punt 56% of the time. Okay, you're not winning games with that. They only scored at 22% of the time on their drives. They're terrible in the red zone with 20% in the red zone. And they averaged, an average of 1 point scored, when they go to the red zone. Bucks have to lean on the run more, which they don't do. They're ranked 38th in yards per carry. So they can't depend on the run because they don't run well. They haven't done anything to improve that. Once again, back to their O-line, they lost everybody. All defenses need to do is stop the run and pressure Baker, and then that's it. Baker will, be stinky as usual. So more sacks for Baker. So if you are playing, if you're betting, bet the sack over, when they're playing Baker. It's the second cheapest in the league, their O-line, so you get what you pay for. Vegas has them at 6.5 wins. I have them, and now let's get into my rankings. Okay, so let's be honest. I think most everybody probably agrees that this division, it's going to be the Falcons. Okay, I don't think they would win any other divisions, but they'll win this division. Second, I'm gonna put the Saints second. I know these two are in contradiction with what FanDuel has, but I do think, again, my research tells me that the Falcons going to win this. Saints are going to come in second. Panthers, the Panthers got a lot of work to do. They could theoretically go a little higher, but I really think they're going to come in third. And Baker and the Bucks, enjoy the basement. You deserve it. You got your little Super Bowl. I hope you're happy. I hope you enjoyed it, because now you're going to stink for many, many, many years to come, because you had to buy that one Super Bowl championship. So once again, this is Rich Morano, the statistician Italian, the Italian stallion statistician. Worked hard on that name, so I hope you respect it. And I hope you respect this high-quality research that I have done. Notice the pronoun usage, that with no support or help from anyone else named Jake. And I really hope that you enjoyed my take on the NFC South. I want to make sure I didn't say division. The NFC South, and back to you guys in the studio.